My mother has an absolute obsession with scavenging through junk. When I was just 5 years old, she salvaged a mysterious jade bracelet. After accidentally cutting my hand, it bonded with me as my personal portable dimension. So with way too much free time on my hands, I swiped my father's cash and stashed it safely inside. Before I even celebrated my 10th birthday, I had already amassed nearly 300,000 in secret savings. At age 11, my mom hauled home a discarded pair of glasses. The moment I put them on, I could see the hidden value of every single item. Naturally, I used those 300,000 savings to flip high-end antiques, raking in a staggering 8 million in just one day. By the time I was 18, I had secretly ascended to billionaire status. As soon as the grueling college entrance exams wrapped up, I was finally ready to drop the act and reveal everything. But just as I crossed the threshold of the front door, I caught my father red-handed with his mistress, brutally forcing my mother to leave the house without a single cent. Wang Xiu Ying, pack your garbage and get lost. Stop wasting my space. My mother was absolutely livid, prepared to wage war against my father until the bitter end. But just as she opened her mouth to lash out, I rushed forward and silenced her. Mom, you're being incredibly foolish. With the measly pocket change Dad actually has, is it even worth the effort of arguing? Realizing it was her own son gagging her, my mother's tears began to flow uncontrollably. Her expression was a twisted mess, pure rage, profound sorrow, but mostly the heartbreak of believing she'd raised a cold-blooded traitor. Good grief, I'm being completely misread here. I'm not siding with my deadbeat father. I literally just don't give a damn about his pathetic wealth. Sure, the old man manages some tiny firm, clearing maybe a measly 2 million in annual profit. But that pocket change, the empires I invest in, which one of them doesn't earn that back in a single afternoon? Squandering my energy bickering with a man like him is honestly beneath me. I was just about to drag my mom to my room to reveal the 9-figure fortune sitting in my account. But my father just had to flex his ego. Cat's got your tongue, hasn't it, Wang Xiu Ying? Look at what a pathetic failure you are as a wife. You're young, yet you have no idea how to style yourself, looking decades older than everyone else your age. Even the son you sacrificed everything for knows you're getting dumped with absolutely nothing, and he's taking my side. Honestly, for a loser like you, is there even a logical reason to keep breathing? You'd be doing the world a favor by just dropping dead. He puffed out his bloated gut looking 10 months pregnant, the corners of his mouth curling into a sneer, overflowing with pure unadulterated disdain. That punchable face made my blood absolutely boil. Just as I was preparing to snap back, his arrogant gaze locked onto me once more. Even if you little brat tried to defend me, don't even dream of tagging along. I'm officially cutting off your college tuition too. Every cent of my wealth is being hoarded for Qian Qian's precious unborn son. So don't you dare think about sucking up to me. I don't need your pity. The second he finished, a brilliant green glow materialized above his head. You got that right. Last week, my mom scavenged some mysterious seasoning and tossed it into our soup. After consuming it, I could suddenly see distinct colors above everyone's head. Purple signifies that a person is riding a wave of luck and is about to strike it rich. Red warns of an impending bloody disaster, absolute misfortune. Pink indicates their destined partner has arrived, meaning romance is currently in the air. As for green, it's the ultimate sign they've been cuckolded and betrayed. My eyes drifted toward the woman my dad was acting all clingy with, the one he affectionately called Qian Qian. Stacked chest, snatched waist? No doubt about it, she's a certified bombshell. Looks like she's the one playing my old man for a fool. I shifted my gaze back to her stomach. A dense swirling mass of deep crimson. A catastrophic bloody disaster. That baby isn't going to survive. Sensing my intense stare, Qian Qian began trembling like a leaf, putting on a damsel in distress performance, feigning weakness as she collapsed into my dad's arms. Big brother, I'm terrified. Your son keeps glaring at me like that. I'm so incredibly frightened. I don't care, you promised you'd be my knight. You have to protect me from him. My dad, intoxicated by her fake trust, instantly puffed out his chest, standing before her as if he were some legendary hero. Then he glared at me with even more savage fury. Wang Jiang, watch your damn eyes. If I ever discover that you're actually plotting to harm my precious Qian Qian, don't blame me for ruthlessly severing our bond as father and son. The moment my mother heard my father's vile threats toward me, she charged into the kitchen and brandished a heavy rolling pin. My father's face turned ghostly pale, and he scrambled toward the exit while playing the shield for Qian Qian. Witnessing this pathetic, heroic display, my heart turned to ice. Back when the debt collectors came hunting, my father would do nothing but cower under the bed like a spineless turtle. Every single time, it was my mother who put her very life on the line and fought like a demon, ensuring those thugs wouldn't dare set foot inside our home. Once a debt collector grew depraved and attempted to force himself upon my mother, my father simply covered his ears and feigned ignorance. I begged him to step out and intervene, but he just glared at me with pure contempt. Kid, keep your mouth shut. If you lure them over here, you'll pay the ultimate price. Fortunately, the elite bodyguards I hired in secret arrived in the nick of time, averting a total catastrophe. From that day forward, I despised my father and incessantly pressured my mother to file for divorce. But my mother was incredibly stubborn, firmly believing she had to provide me with a complete family. Or more accurately, she naively hoped my father could stage a comeback. And in truth, she wasn't wrong. A year later, my father caught a miraculous break. His business ventures began to skyrocket, and his mounting debts were finally cleared. Here's for the 3 golds and that 200,000 bride price I still owe you. Our standard of living surged, yet my mother refused to abandon her habit of scavenging through junk. Only now terrified that my father would find her humiliating, she wore a mask under the cover of night to sneak out. Once I was hit by a midnight bathroom emergency and caught her acting incredibly suspicious as she slipped out. Half an hour passed. She returned, hauling several massive bulging bags. The very next morning, a pair of glasses mysteriously appeared on my desk. I initially dismissed them as ordinary eyewear, but the moment I put them on, I could perceive the hidden value of all objects. Fast forward 1 month. My father used business struggles as a pathetic excuse to slash my mother's daily living expenses. Dreading a return to those dark, impoverished days, I took the glasses to the antique district to hunt for hidden treasures. On my first attempt, I dropped 5,000 on a grime-covered bracelet and flipped it for a massive 300,000. From that moment on, I constantly looked for excuses to skip class to hunt for treasures. In the span of just 1 short month, I raked in 20 million and earned the respect of the antique street elites. My boy, what do you say to becoming my grandson? You're already the 18th person to ask that. The guys trying to be my father are still lining up around the block. I even attempted to play matchmaker for my mother. I know a few genuinely reliable gentlemen. Stellar character and incredibly deep pockets. What if I set up a quiet introduction for you? I've committed my entire life only to your father. Stop filling your head with such nonsense. Mom, I can seriously generate massive wealth. Real money. I think you've binged too many. Overpowered tycoon novels and completely lost your marbles, daydreaming about absurdities all day long. I desperately wanted to show her the mountain of cash in my dimension, but my mother was so hopelessly addicted to scavenging through junk that she wouldn't spare me even a second of her attention. Besides, since the household wasn't exactly hurting for cash, I'd simply accidentally drop stacks of money and high-end luxury goods into the trash bins my mom frequented and just left it at that. This secret remained buried until the conclusion of the college entrance exams. I finally intended to lay all my cards on the table, but who could have guessed my father was a cheating scumbag? He's truly fated to be stripped of all his fortune, destined for a life of utter destitution. The front door slammed shut with a deafening bang. My mother collapsed into a fit of hysterical sobbing, and my heart absolutely shattered for her. I pulled up my banking app and toggled off the hide balance feature, fully prepared to unveil the legendary 10-figure savings that everyone fantasies about. Ha ha ha, serves you right. How can a simple housewife like me even compete with that mistress? If I'm really thrown out onto the street with nothing and can no longer reside here, how will I even survive? I poked my mother's biceps, which were rock hard, from years of hauling heavy trash, desperately trying to force her to glance at my balance. But suddenly, I heard her utter a frantic, unexpected sentence. If I'm forced to leave this neighborhood, I'll lose access to all the best trash picking spots. Where else on earth could you find dumpsters overflowing with cold hard cash? I've been hauling it in by the literal bucket load. In what other trash cans? Would you stumble upon authentic LV handbags, pristine Valentino heels, or even a top-of-the-line iPhone 17 Pro Max ET? In what other scrap heaps? Is every single find brand new and completely untouched? Mom, please don't tell me you've stayed in this marriage all these years, simply because you couldn't bear to leave these goldmine trash cans. What's with that judgmental look on your face? Do you have even the slightest clue your mother, by scavenging through the neighborhood junk, has already purchased 2 luxury villas in your name? Every bit of this fortune will be yours one day. From the deepest pocket of her trousers, she pulled out a blindingly radiant Hermes, orange edition iPhone 17 Pro Max. She swiftly bypassed the lock screen and pulled up her banking application. You little rascal, take a good look at this. I've amassed 20 million solely from my scavenging over the years. That's more pure profit than your father's entire company combined. Is this neighborhood not a literal treasure trove? Did you really think your mother would just hand this gold mine over to someone else? Humph. Even if I sign those divorce papers, I'm keeping this house. These trash cans belong to me. I always assumed my mom stayed because she was hung up on my dad. Who would have guessed she was actually obsessed with the neighborhood trash? Mom, if you're actually this wealthy, why do you dress like a total pauper every single day? And those deep wrinkles on your face? How on earth did you? Before I could even finish my thought, my mother sprinted to the bathroom with the speed of a pro athlete. Following the sound of splashing water, she bolted right back and stood before me. Good God, her skin is as flawless as a freshly peeled egg. This breathtaking face, these exquisite sharp features, she easily outclasses 5 Chen-Chens combined. My father truly traded a priceless diamond for a common pebble. Your old lady hits the luxury spa 3 times a week, kid. There's not a chance in hell my skin would look bad. I was just terrified your father would catch on, so I had to play the role of the impoverished housewife. She grabbed me by the collar once again and dragged me into our dilapidated storage unit. Then, right before my very eyes, she activated a nearly invisible hidden switch. Suddenly, the wardrobe filled with tattered rags emitted a thunderous, booming mechanical sound. The rear panel of the cabinet slid open, unveiling a high-tech elevator. My mother hauled me into the lift and slammed the button for B1. As the doors parted, a sea of shimmering, blinding lights assaulted my vision. I shielded my eyes, needing a moment to recover from the glare. I was utterly paralyzed by the sight before me. A colossal high-end walk-in vault unfolded in every direction. The jewelry wing, the curated Hermes collection, the ultra-luxury watch gallery, holy crap. My mom is actually a hidden multimillionaire. It turns out my father is the world's biggest clown, and the most pathetic pauper among us. Ziang, this is the secret vault I spent a fortune constructing. Every single piece of this will be your inheritance. I cleared my parched throat, straightened my wrinkled clothes, and prepared to finally reveal my own secret identity. Just as I opened my mouth, my mom pinched my lips tight. Jiang, you finally witnessed your mother's true power right. All of this wealth was harvested from the neighborhood junk. I refuse to let that man rob me of this gold mine. Don't you dare try to persuade me to leave empty-handed. Mom is getting a top-tier lawyer on the line this instant. I don't care how many millions it costs. We are staying in this house permanently. I made muffled sounds, frantically gesturing for her to release my mouth. But my mother had already snatched up her phone, turned her back, and began a fierce negotiation with the attorney. Watching her determined silhouette as she fought for her future, my emotions became a tangled, complicated mess. As of right now, I'm truly conflicted about whether to tell her the truth about those trash cans. If I expose the reality, and my mom successfully secures the divorce, her primary source of joy will be vaporized. But if I keep my mouth shut, then my own secret life as a billionaire, how much longer must I keep it all bottled up? After weighing the options, I decided it was time to crush my mom's trashy joy regardless, and draft her to run one of my corporate empires instead. 50 is the prime age to launch a new career. But by the time I made it back upstairs, she had completely vanished without a trace. Suddenly, a notification pinged on my phone. Zhang Mom finally secured the receipts on your father's infidelity. Rest assured I will protect this literal gold mine at all costs. I've been doing some thinking. You weren't exactly born a genius, and you'll likely end up stuck in some bottom-tier vocational school. You aren't exactly destined for greatness. Once Mom officially locks down the house, you can start joining my nightly shifts to scavenge through the trash. In the future, you can just amass a fortune and rot away while picking through junk. I've listed all the professional gear you'll need for the job. Mom is swamped negotiating with the legal team right now, so go head out and purchase them. Don't you dare be stingy with the cash. This money was basically a free find anyway, so we might as well blow it. Some free find that turned out to be, all these years, I systematically swiped cash from my father's wallet, relentlessly skipped classes to hunt down ancient relics, painstakingly expanded my elite network, grinded like crazy to stack my paper, and then worked even harder to plant that cold, hard cash, and designer goods in the trash terrified someone else would snatch them. I even pulled all-nighters just to ensure she salvaged them before I dared to sleep. Turns out, I've been playing myself this entire time. I gritted my teeth in pure frustration, but silently pocketed the money that belonged to me in the first place. My mother was actually touched by my obedient behavior and sent me a digital elite trash picking strategy guide. The contents were insane. Which bins are primed for high-value loot? Which dumpsters are known to drop high-end electronics? And which specific ones spawn authentic Hermes bags? Gritting my teeth once more, I downloaded the file, then utilized my top-tier connections to dial my father's biggest client. At the end of the day, this entire disaster was his doing. It's time for him to face the consequences of his actions. Mr. Chen, the moment you terminate that contract, I will personally cover the entirety of the penalty fees. Furthermore, I'll grant you an exclusive 1% discount on our next deal. Ha ha ha, listen, Mr. Wang. Consider it done. I'll follow your lead exactly. The moment I hung up the phone, a wave of pure satisfaction washed over me. The following morning, I made a special trip to my dad's office to witness the impending train wreck. Mr. Chen, you've got to be joking, right? We are right on the verge of restocking our entire inventory. Terminating the contract at a critical junction like this. Do you have any idea how much chaos this inflicts on us? Exactly, if you dare to breach this contract, you'll be slapped with a massive 2 million penalty. And one more thing, enough. It's only money, isn't it? I'll settle the debt. He paid up and made a cold composed exit. Meanwhile, my father is in his office smashing furniture like a total lunatic. Verify it. Find out exactly who's snatching this contract. Witnessing him finally get hit by the karma he rightfully deserved, I felt a surge of satisfaction and prepared to head out. Go back and tell that mother of yours. She can kiss that house goodbye. I'm not handing over a single red cent. I've got zero intention of delivering that message for you. In fact, I'm giving you a piece of advice. Surrender the house to my mom and do it obediently. Or what, you think you can threaten me? I'm the one who raised you. Are you really going to play the rebel against your own father? He's right, Jiang. Even if he legally separates from your mother, he remains your biological father. Don't become a disgracefully unfilial son. You're a grown man now. You should have the common sense to know right from wrong. If you haven't, sign those divorce papers within 3 days and sign that house over to my mother. I guarantee I will personally bankrupt this pathetic excuse for a company. What a psycho. I didn't even waste my breath arguing further. Whether he believes me or not, reality is going to hit him hard soon enough. And just like that, while my mom was busy lecturing me on pro-trash picking techniques, my father, already reaching his breaking point, was furiously pounding on the door after finding the passcode changed. I glanced at the electronic lock interface. Save the dramatic nonsense for someone else. I don't have a second to waste on your excuses. Just give it to me straight. Do you accept the ultimatum I gave you or not? My father's face, distorted by sheer unbridled rage, instantly flushed a deep, sickly shade of purple. The hallway fell into a deafening silence for a beat, just as I assumed the deal had tanked and prepared to turn the screws. My father's voice rasped through his gritted teeth. Fine, the house is yours, goddammit. We are signing those divorce papers this instant. I instructed my mother to prepare the formal divorce settlement. I moved to unlatch the door. The moment I cracked it open, my father lunged with sudden violent force, his palm swinging in a slap that nearly connected with my face. Witnessing my seamless evasion of his strike, his rage reached an absolute boiling point, brandishing the baseball bat by the door at his own son, Dad. Solely for the sake of our biological bond, I refrained from obliterating your company instantly, but if you dare lay a single finger on me, I guarantee you'll be blacklisted from this industry forever. The bat in his trembling grip rose and fell several times. Eventually, he slammed it onto the floor. Wang Zheang, who the hell are you really? Why does everyone bow to your every whim? There is absolutely no way I'm spilling the beans now. If he discovers the true scale of my wealth, he might actually try to back out of the divorce. All will be revealed in a month. At that time, a prestigious gala will be held at the auction house. Every elite player in the city will be in attendance. It's the ultimate stage to debut with my mom and serve some serious karma. And maybe even scout for a superior father figure. Haha. Fine, you win, Wang Shuying. Turns out, you've been playing me this entire time, hiring some puppet to come after my throat. But I won't stoop to your pathetic level. It's just a house, isn't it? Fine, take it and get out of my sight. He signed those documents with lightning speed and stormed out in a blind fury. I didn't actually intend to drive the old man to his grave. After all, my initial startup capital was borrowed from him. It's a weird karmic debt. Let's just bury the hatchet and move on. I need to book a month-long graduation getaway. Before I could even finish, my mom barged in. Move it. You're coming scavenging with mom tonight. I'm taking you out for some real hands-on training today. I'll even let you have the premium high-value junk. Mom cared to make a little wager. I bet we won't find a single piece of treasure tonight. If I win this bet, you have to grant me one specific request. Pathetic. And what's the penalty if you lose? Then I'll cancel all my summer vacation plans. I'll stay home and master the craft of scavenging under your wing. Now we're talking. My legacy finally has a worthy successor. What are you standing around for? Let's move out right now. She marched ahead, radiating pure confidence and energy. Tonight, I made sure my staff didn't plant a single item in those bins. High-end luxury goods or stacks of cash. I was skeptical, but then I was absolutely floored. My mother nimbly approached the first dumpster, plunged her right hand deep into the debris, and hauled out a glittering, manifestly priceless emerald jade pendant. And alongside it lay an unconscious, ethereally stunning but visibly injured woman. A classic hero saves the beauty scenario. You're reaching that age. It's high time you started dating. I'm leaving this little project in your hands. It took me an eternity to snap back to reality, before reluctantly ordering my assistant to locate a top-tier hospital. Just as the woman was rushed into the ER, a breaking news alert flashed across my phone screen. Urgent report, Zhou Yiyi, daughter of Hong Kong's wealthiest tycoon, kidnapped. Astronomic reward offered for her safe return. My right eye twitched uncontrollably. Fantastic. The woman my mother literally salvaged from the garbage was a perfect identical match. I frantically forwarded the news report to my mom. Mom, drop the trash and stop right now. We are in serious trouble. From the heart of Hong Kong to the streets of Beijing. That is a massive geographic gap. How the hell did she end up here? If I tell the authorities my mom fished her out of a trash bin, will anyone even believe such a crazy story? Relax, it's just a minor hiccup. Every challenge is just a hidden opportunity. You're still wet behind the ears. You don't realize top-tier women like her aren't just up for grabs. You need to secure the win early. Your mother thinks this girl looks promising. She's definitely your fated partner. Make sure you hit it off with her. Jiang, I'm getting up there in years, so I'm heading off on a vacation. Manage this situation on your own, alright? When I tried to fire back a reply, I realized my mother had blocked me and vanished. Seriously, only my own mother would dump a disaster on my lap the second things get complicated. Fine, once she regains consciousness, I'll provide her with some travel funds and send her packing back home on her own. I have no intention of getting entangled in their high-stakes family power struggles. But the moment she actually opened her eyes, I was left speechless after hearing the doctor's diagnosis. You're telling me her head suffered such a trauma that she's plagued by amnesia? When will she snap out of it? The doctor simply shook his head, unable to provide a timeline. I slumped onto the bench, defeated. Now I am officially completely screwed. The beautiful culprit lying on that hospital bed was still blinking those big innocent eyes at me. Big brother, I'm starving. Watching this woman who is literally 4 years my senior acting this cute sent a massive wave of goosebumps across my entire body. My dearest mother, you seriously need to stop salvaging random trash from the streets. After dispatching my assistant to fetch some food, I immediately dialed the emergency number from the news report and secured their contact information. The moment I hit send on a photo of Zhou Yi Chao, the response from the other side was instantaneous. Our master is mobilized and heading your way by helicopter. While urging them to maintain total secrecy and hustle, I dropped a small fortune to hire an elite security detail. No matter the cost or the risk, until Mr. Zhou personally touches down, Zhou Yi must remain alive and unharmed. Fortunately, everything remained calm until Zhou Chongjun finally arrived. I owe you a debt beyond words for saving my daughter. Name your price for this life-saving miracle. As long as it's within my power, that won't be necessary. Seeing her safe and sound is more than enough. I'm not exactly hurting for money or resources. Big brother, are you actually deserting me? Am I not your favorite person in the world anymore? Didn't you vow to stay by my side for a life? Time. Wait, no. Please don't get the wrong idea. I only said those things because her amnesia made her so incredibly clingy. Don't take a single word of it seriously. I swear on my life I have zero ulterior motives toward your daughter. I have absolutely no interest in gold digging my way into a tycoon's family. But then Zhou Yi burst into tears and lunged for my hand, her eyes fluttering shut as she spiraled into another faint. The patient is currently suffering from extreme insecurity, and she has become dangerously dependent on you. Her fragile state cannot handle any more emotional agitation. I strongly suggest you devote more time to your sister. I was ready to protest that she isn't my sister, but young man, until my daughter's memory fully returns, I am pleading with you to stay by her side. This man's fortune is currently skyrocketing. He's destined to live to be at least 100. Forging a connection with another high-level network is undeniably advantageous for my future. Yeah. Fine, I'll take the deal. However, absolutely no one warned me that an amnesiac Zhou Yi would be this suffocatingly clingy. The millisecond I drift out of her line of sight, she bombards me with relentless texts. Big brother, I've already devoured 5 oranges. Why haven't you manifested in front of me yet? The doctor cleared my leg and says I'm ready for discharge. Big brother, get over here and pick me up right now. It looks like for the high-stakes auction in a week, I'll be forced to bring her along as my shadow. After that, we sever all ties and go our separate ways forever. That afternoon, we clashed with the usual suspects at the auction entrance. Beholding the youthful, radiant Zhou Yi and witnessing my mother who had finally ditched her pauper disguise to look 10 times more rejuvenated and stunning, security move it and toss these uninvited nobodies out on the street who is suicidal enough to incite a riot at a floating life hall auction. Exactly. Is there anyone left who doesn't know that a legendary big shot has bankrolled floating life hall for 7 years? Now this is getting juicy. They've actually encountered some idiots crashing the gala. I honestly couldn't tolerate them gawking at us like some zoo exhibit, so I flashed my exclusive black card. In a heartbeat, the entire auditorium plunged into dead silence. The guards charging toward us froze mid-stride. They recognized it instantly. This was a tier of privilege reserved only for the VVVIP elite. An Apex tier card like them, Floating Life Hall has only ever issued 10 in its entire history. Hurry, investigate the true identities of these 3. Are you suddenly deaf? What are you just standing there like statues for? Apprehend them this instant. Don't tell me you're allowing these insignificant peasants to compromise our security protocol. You unrefined bumpkin, how dare you pass judgment on me? The legendary Floating Life Hall black card belongs to them. Even if the CEO himself arrived, he'd have to bow in their presence. Not only are you too blind to recognize greatness, but you're practically begging for death by trying to evict them. Who's the real bumpkin now? The moment those words left her lips, my father stunned disbelieving. stare locked directly onto us. How can this be humanly possible? The person wielding that black card is my own son. He literally just wrapped up his college entrance exams. How in the world could he be a VIP at Floating Life Hall? Precisely, old Wang. The kid must have scavenged that card from some gutter. Security move. This mother and son are nothing but thieves. They've obviously pilfered a VIP's personal property. Arrest them immediately and drag them to the police station. You're spewing pure garbage. If he's truly a thief, then why on earth would Hong Kong's wealthiest tycoon allow his precious daughter to follow them like a shadow? The moment those words were uttered, the entire venue fell deathly silent. Every single person simultaneously pivoted to stare at Zhou Yi standing right beside me. So her family background is actually that staggering. Miss Zhou, my boy is merely a naive youngster, and he likely doesn't grasp the weight of his actions. How could you entrust him with such a prestigious asset? I'll take responsibility for its safekeeping instead, without giving anyone else a chance to breathe. He lunged with a fake smile to snatch the black card from my grip. Who told you this black card belongs to Zhou Yi? The greasy smile on my father's face instantly paralyzed. Before he could play his arrogant elder card again, I escorted my mom and Zhou Yi straight into VIP box number 1. He tried to barge in after us, but was stonewalled by the elite bodyguards at the entrance. Sir, box number 1 is exclusively for our most illustrious guests. Your social standing simply doesn't meet the criteria. Cease this attempt to force entry immediately, or we will be compelled to forcibly eject you from Floating Life Hall. Big brother, let's just find our seats. Our sole purpose here is to secure the Jade Buddha to ensure your son's fortune and protection. Don't let these distractions derail our main objective. Jade Buddha, perhaps. What a delicious coincidence. I'm actually quite fond of that particular collectible myself. I'm claiming it no matter what. The charity auction commenced, and the opening item was none other than the Jade Buddha. Since the craftsmanship was mediocre, and the dimensions weren't exactly impressive, the majority of the high rollers were completely indifferent. Only a handful of minor players raised their paddles, leaving my father as the wealthiest bidder in the room. He truly believed he had the victory locked down. Are there any further bids in the room? 1 million going once. 1 million going twice. But just as the final gavel was about to strike, the giant display in the hall suddenly updated. The auctioneer's voice hit an octave higher. VIP box number 1 bids 3 million. Are there any challengers to this bid? My father's face instantly soured, looking like he'd just swallowed a fly. Big brother, your brat really did snag himself a sugar mommy. He's intentionally targeting the unborn child in my womb. I don't give a damn. I had a vision that our son needs this. You absolutely must secure it. Relax, I'll just demand it from him later. I'm his father. He wouldn't dare refuse me. Sold to the man. You little rascal. Dropping 3 million as if it were pocket change. Your mother would have to scavenge through mountains of junk just to break even on that. Whatever all my wealth is headed your way eventually. Go ahead and blow it. Mom, you're seriously underestimating your own son? Take a good look at how many zeros are in this balance. Good lord, where on earth did you amass such a fortune? Did you pull off a bank heist? Or did this little girl's family bribe you with it? The Zhou family did make an offer, but I chose to politely decline. How could a life-saving favor be repaid with mere cash? I'd be playing myself if I took that deal, wouldn't I? Why do you think your son has the keys to box number 1? Spoken like a true son of mine. I genuinely thought you were a bit of a dimwit, but I never expected you to play even your own mother. You definitely owe me some serious compensation for this. Your mother is currently lacking a decent pair of earrings. Today, you are absolutely going to secure them for me. With a simple nod of my approval, she didn't hold back in the slightest, placing a 10 million bid for those emerald drop earrings. The moment that 10 million figure flashed on the screen, Qian Qian nearly leaped out of her skin. Wang Dajun, have you lost your mind after the divorce? Just how much of a settlement did you hand over to those two? They're buying $10 million gems like they're groceries. Before my father could even stammer out a response, I dropped another 50 million on a legendary Warring States White Jade Dragon patterned 9-streamer buy disc. Then an additional 60 million for a Qing Dynasty national treasure. In a mere 20-minute span, I effortlessly liquidated 100 million. By now, it wasn't just my father who was shell-shocked. The entire room was left absolutely speechless. As far as this elite crowd was concerned, not a single soul among them could move that fast to mobilize 100 million in pure liquid capital. Especially not someone like the tycoon's daughter, Zhou Yi, who had yet to seize the reins of power. Clearly, this massive wealth could only belong to one person. Good God, the majority shareholder of the Sheng-An Group has officially shifted to Wang Zheang. What? He's also holding a 40% stake in Jian Shipping. Check the official financial statement. He's already earned the endorsement of several of the most legendary elders in the industry. Holy crap, he literally just finished his high school exams? How the hell is this kid so insanely up? Why couldn't he be my son? Basking in the heat of their envious stares, my father didn't feel a shred of pride. He only felt the agonizing regret of losing a 50 million jackpot. It never even crossed his pathetic mind that the lethal threats I leveled at him before were backed by the fact that I possess an incomparable network of my own. It had nothing to do with my mom finding some sugar daddy. He suffered through the end of the auction, then bolted frantically toward the VIP box entrance, desperate to ride my coattails and climb the social ladder. However, the vultures were even faster than him. They formed a literal blockade to shove their business cards at me. He didn't stand a chance of squeezing through. By the time I finally emerged, he lunged towards me only to be shoved aside by the crowd. He hit the floor unexpectedly with a thud, tumbling right to my feet. I pulled him up with cold indifference. Wang Dajun, I've taken a glimpse at your fortune, and it predicts you being utterly abandoned by everyone. I'd strongly advise you to run a thorough check to see if that brat in your mistress's womb is actually a product of your DNA. He reflexively opened his mouth to berate me, just like the old days, but then he caught the flickering guilt in Chen Chen's eyes and froze. If my words held even a grain of truth, wouldn't he be the world's biggest fool raising another man's kid? A DNA test wouldn't hurt just to be sure. He snatched Chen Chen by the arm and fled in a panic for a paternity test. I can't help but wonder the second he lays eyes on that paternity report, exactly what kind of pathetic expression he'll make. Jiang, you handle your business. Mom is going to tail them for the tea. I'll record everything so you can have a legendary laugh later. I was just about to warn her to be careful when the silent Zhou Yi suddenly found her voice. Do you require my assistance to investigate for you? Wait, did your memory finally return? It did. I truly appreciate everything you've done for me lately. How about dinner tonight as a small token of my gratitude? Isn't your empire looking to dominate the Hong Kong market? I'm in a perfect position to facilitate that. Can't we just enjoy a meal and talk business? Count me in, I'll be there exactly on time. A man can fight against anything in this world, but he'd be a fool to fight against cold, hard cash. Zhou Yi departed with a satisfied smirk to find my mother, while I remained to schmooze with the titans of industry I needed to secure. The sole reason I flexed so aggressively by dropping 100 million was to command the undivided attention of these moguls. It was a calculated move to pave the way for my grand debut, and honestly I'm beyond satisfied with the outcome. By the time I hammered out the final deals, evening had already fallen. I hurriedly hailed a ride and sped toward the restaurant. En route, I received the long-awaited video from my mother. I dumped my wife and abandoned my only son for you. How could you betray me like this, you snake? You actually expected me to raise another man's brat. Listen here, you old fossil. You're ancient and you reek. If it wasn't for your bank account, did you honestly think I'd ever want to be seen with you? Yo Jiang. Your mother is literally wheezing from laughter. Your father got absolutely cuckolded. Tell me, how did I get so incredibly blessed, raising a genius powerhouse of a son like you, and amassing so much wealth through my own hard work? Say no more, I've heard enough. I'm gearing up to go scavenge for more treasures now. I was right on the verge of finally coming clean, but the car pulled up to the restaurant entrance. Whatever, if my mom finds joy in the dumpster life, who am I to stop her? Regardless, I've got enough power to have her back forever. After stepping into the restaurant and taking a seat, Zhou Yi remained silent, just tracing my every move with gleaming eyes. The stare lasted so long, my skin started to crawl. Just as I suspected she was about to confess and go full cougar, I've always dreamed of having a younger brother. Would you consider taking me on as your big sister? Definitely tough old meat can't compete with a fresh snack anyway. I've got more money than I can spend, so there's zero chance I'm letting one woman tie me down. I did a little mental victory dance, celebrating the fact that I'd just secured another elite backer. Right on cue, my mom's name flashed on my screen. Ziang, you won't believe this. Mom just salvaged a total silver fox this time. My long-awaited romantic peak is finally here.